So first,
Absolutely.
and I was
Let's dig it all up.
oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So, sidebar. Yes.
And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast in the City edition, season 1, episode 3. And I still hate Kenny. And that's it.
I don't foresee that changing at all.
I'd be surprised if it did. And you know what? Honestly, I know we can't judge you based off who you date, but it makes me not like Whitney.
You know what? That's fair though, because your partner is a reflection of you.
I can't support you if you're supporting him and I hate him. And I want to like her, but I don't right now.
I don't know enough about her yet because I don't think I ever watched her season of The Bachelor, Bachelorette.
I also hate The Bachelor, Bachelorette. So it's not looking good for Whitney for me. But I hate Kenny, and he should know that. Anyway, before we get in the episode, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay. So, previously on In the City, we met/had to see again Frank from the Real Housewives of Orange County because he went on a date with Kelly Dodd. He went on many dates. They were dating.
Yeah.
I do remember him.
Let's hope we don't get in that long on this.
Thank God. What a money, fame hungry weirdo. Anyway, Frank is here to date Lindsay. Amanda and Kyle are living separate. Lindsay and Danielle are beefing. Whitney moved across the country for Kenny, and Kenny doesn't like that Lindsay is taking his relationship more seriously than he is. But Kenny's just figuring it out.
And
my God.
If that's what figuring it out is, then yikes.
My eyes can't roll back enough. Okay. So we start out in Fight Eye. Amanda is waiting to meet West and Sierra, and my God, let Sierra live a peaceful life, please, God.
Yeah,
stop doing this.
I feel like this was what came out, God, at a reunion 2. And so it was like right when Amanda was her nastiest during the Summer House reunion that like this cuts so deep for anybody who watched them back to back.
It's just like, well, they talk about how they have each other's locations. Really?
And that was her downfall, baby.
Okay, so Amanda's moving out by herself, and Wes and Sierra had no idea she was going to do this. Wes is very much surprised. But then, as Amanda's talking about her friendships, she says, and I quote, "Sierra has obviously been my best friend for a few years now. Obsessed with that woman." Amanda Petula. Amanda Petula, September of 2025.
I just find that amazing to talk about someone like that. And just a few months later, less than 180 days later, you go and sleep with their ex.
You know, I do think she's obsessed with her because Amanda wants to become Sierra. So she dates her ex.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Anyway.
I find it weird. I mean, like, it's just, I have made a TikTok about this. I don't think that Amanda actually thought of Sierra as a close friend, or acted on that at least. And so I find it weird to sit on a couch on a show that Sierra's not even on and be like, my bestie.
That's my best friend. Yeah. So Wes and Amanda have become good friends this summer. He was there for her through a lot of this Kyle shit.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
A lot of hugs and I love you, forehead kisses.
And I love you, text me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. So Amanda is happy that Wes and Sierra have become friends again too. And if you don't know why, go watch Summer House. I can't sit here and explain to you the lore. I'm just saying it's been a long time. It's been a while.
This scene would have just felt amazing though had none of this scandal gone down. Like we were giddy for it.
I know. So they all go to lunch, and Amanda loves that the three of them are together, and Sierra's like, you gotta chill out about this. But Amanda's like, this is my dream, and it's Wes's dream too. And even Wes is kind of like, let's calm down.
Amanda, why is this your dream? Like, I still find how hard people ship Sierra and Wes. I guess not ship, because I was shipping them. The people in their lives who are forcing them together is weird to me. And then to go from that to this scandal, I find extra weird. Like, I found Sabrina weird on Summer House pushing for Wes and Sierra to be together. But at least
Yeah.
Sabrina isn't, like, then trying to do the reverse.
Yeah, it's the people in their lives that just like won't let it rest.
Or, like,
Because
let it
you should
unfold
know.
naturally.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, then we get an interview that we skip to the future. So it's May 5th, 2026. This is past the Summer House scandal. This is past the reunion. Amanda is doing interviews for In the City. I believe this is probably when she texted Lindsay.
It is the same day.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, and she was like, hey, was hoping to see you at our interviews, but didn't. And then, but it's before she talked to Lindsay, right?
Yes.
So Amanda and West are together at this point. And the interviewer, producer is like, how'd you feel about shooting this scene with Sierra and West? And Amanda says, like, she knows what people are going to say. There was no crush happening. Her and West were just friends. And in these moments, or in this moment, they were just three best friends grabbing lunch, basically.
Which I stand on. I do believe that. Like, I don't think anything. I think feelings were starting to develop. I don't think lines had officially been crossed yet. But still, in this interview, how can you not say, I see how weird that is? I see how weird it is. I go from September, like, rooting for them to be together to me then pursuing this man.
No, and I just don't like how she always seems just like happy and like not sorry. She can be happy in her life, but the fact that she is not apologetic for anything ever,
or can't even acknowledge the weirdness of it.
she can't do any. It is like
She just like looks so sullen and is just like, ugh, like, you're really gonna ask me that? Like, I feel like she always has an attitude of, why would we ever even bring this up?
I saw someone make a good point online, and it was like, Amanda was doing what she's been taught, right? Get the man by any means necessary. Because we all, as women, we should all be married to a man and want the white picket fence and like
that is the pinnacle of what society wants for us, and happiness and what we're worthy of and what gives us value.
So in her mind, this person was like, maybe she's just like, I did what I was supposed to do. Why are people mad at me?
It's like she looks at Sierra's collateral damage to a successful life.
Yes.
And it's an, oops, like, sorry, you had to go through that because I had to find love.
Yeah, but he liked me, not you. I had to do it.
Through you.
Yeah,
is like actually what she did.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about the Summer House scandal, surprisingly enough. This is a whole different show. Who would have thought? Anyway, let's beat the dead horse some more. Next time we talk about this scandal, let's like go on vacation or something. My gosh, I'm sick of discussing
buckle up, because it's going to be discussed at the In the City reunion.
Oh, I'll do it then. I love a reunion. I love a reunion.
But I will say, in this scene, the TV static and the cutting to the green screen, I loved that. Like, that was beautiful. It was really well done. How it was done. It gave me chills similar to the Vanderpump finale, whenever they were running through like all of their life, and it just felt like so final. This felt like, oh my God, like we're connecting the dots. Like it was just really well done.
It was lovely. Okay, so Amanda tells them, because we're back to lunch. We're leaving Amanda in the future and we're going back to In the City.
We'll see her later.
So Amanda tells them that she told Kyle she was going to move out on their anniversary. And even Wes is kind of like, damn, okay.
No, I still stand by that's the meanest thing ever.
Mm-hmm. So Amanda clarifies there's no divorce. We're not single. We're just creating space through this separation. And Amanda says Kyle was prepared for it because Sierra mentioned it this summer about separating. So Kyle wasn't fully blindsided. He's fine, okay? And then we have a moment where West gives Sierra his jacket and everyone freaks out again, including Amanda.
The performance West puts on in front of a camera should be studied.
And then she's like, hey, I'm not going to be complacent, mixed up with compliant. she's an idiot, but whatever. But she's like, I'm not going to be complacent in this relationship. And she tells him the other week, Kyle came home at 8 a.m. He went to the SNL after party and he was so drunk he had to be held up. And I said, you know what, though? You only get one shot in SNL after party. You know what?
No, the minute she said SNL after party, I was like, this is a time.
What?
This is a time to be absolutely hammered. In that party, I understand why you were out till the sun comes up.
100%. How could you not be? Marcela
You gotta
Hernandez
soak up every
is there.
moment.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
So Wes is like, do you ever in therapy tell Kyle to stop doing this behavior or you're going to leave him? And Amanda's like, yeah, literally all the time. But she tells Wes, she's like, you go out with him. You know how he is. Like, Kyle comes home and then he falls asleep in the kitchen. And I was like, at least he's home. Calm down,
She also said that she texts Wes, how is he?
Yeah.
That's weird. I would actually be pretty upset if my friend was putting me in the position of having to watch their husband out or partner out and like report back, especially when I'm friends with the partner.
With the husband. I'm just as drunk. Why are you texting me?
Don't triangulate me in your marriage. You guys need to
100%.
work this stuff out without putting your friends in the middle.
100%. So we talk about how Kyle is 43 years old, which I always age him up. I think he's 57, but I don't know.
No, he is too old to be doing this shit and living this life and married. I do need to always remember that it's like Kyle is a bad husband.
Yes, but I hate Amanda so much. I'm out here sticking up for a bad white man.
No, because like we
it's
gotta
fine.
call out his behavior as well, just like we would any other married
Anyone
man who's
else.
doing this shit.
Wes does say that Kyle has never shown any signs of chilling out, and Sierra's like, the threat that Amanda's going to leave him isn't enough to stop Kyle. And Amanda says her intentions are that they are not single. They just need to get back to being them, you know, with some breathing room. And I was like, back to being them. They are still them.
True.
I'm looking in a mirror. We just have more wrinkles and more Botox.
No, Amanda's still on the train that like Kyle will settle down, and they're literally shouting it in her face like, no, we won't. That man will not.
Amanda does say, though, she's not involved with Loverboy or she's not involved with Kyle financially. And Sierra's like, girl, you're involved financially.
She is.
And Amanda's like, but Kyle got a loan before we got married. And Sierra's like, okay, maybe that loan is fine. But where is he now financially? Y'all don't have a prenup. Amanda's about to pay him alimony.
Oh my God, wait. I never
he's
really
broke,
thought about that.
If he's broke, she's
That's
got
so
money.
funny. Okay, but this is the first time she's fully admitted she's out on Loverboy. Why is she called a creative director on this show? What the fuck is she a creative director of?
She's basically just a brand. She's just the brand face at this point.
Well, I mean, like, she does her little swimsuits, but that's through a company that already exists. She didn't start a swimsuit line. She, like, partnered on a swimsuit line.
No, I know. I think she's literally just a face of Loverboy. She's here to promote it.
She's
That's
just
all she does.
influencer.
Yeah, she's like a on-call influencer.
Yeah. Remember when they ribbed Lindsay so hard for becoming a full-time influencer? And it's like, come on. Like, clearly
Amanda's
that's where the
not
money
even
is.
a real influencer. She's just the influencer of her husband's company. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
At this point in time, yeah.
He might not even be paying her.
And what's sad is then, like, in present day, the only ad she's had, granted, like, obviously since the scandal, she's not going to get any ads, but, like,
Yeah.
the ad right before this all went down was Buffalo Wild Wings. And my biggest question is, did she get that through West's deal? Because he also had a deal with Buffalo Wild Wings. So it's like, you're just capitalizing on the next man in your life.
She did have a Jimmy John's one because I remember reading the comments and everyone was like, I'm going to Jersey Mike's now. And I was like, damn, she can't even get Jimmy John's. So whatever. Yeah. Also, I don't feel sorry, Amanda. First of all, learn what's happening financially in your marriage. Second of all, you should have signed a prenup. I can't feel bad.
She has more money than him. We know that.
Girl, he's gonna get monthly payments from you. Have a nice life. Okay, so now we go to Loverboy HQ. Kyle is having an open conversation with all of his employees because we're struggling to make it through the slow months. And basically there's enough in the bank to make it to the end of the year. So we gotta figure out how to get revenue up.
Yeah, we gotta keep it going though. That's worst case scenario. I like this peek behind the curtain. Like seeing the whole like Teams call. We got a few employees. I was like, all right, That's how we made it through 2025. How are we still going in present day? I can't wait to find out more.
This is so scary. I have been on these calls when your boss is like, we don't have a lot of money. In 3 months, it'll be questionable. And you're just like, so do we
Hoping
look
for the
for
best.
jobs? Yeah.
Especially that one employee. She's like, so should I look for a job? Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a fun call. Anyway.
No.
So we go back to lunch with Amanda, Wes, and Sierra. And Sierra's explaining that Amanda could be liable for lover boy shit. We just don't know because no one really knows their financial situation. And Amanda's like, I want to believe Kyle wouldn't do that to me. And Sierra's like, okay, sure, but that's also very naive of you. And Amanda says she's just trying not to think about it or else she'll cry.
Because the thing is like, okay, yes, the Kyle that's in front of her right now in this show, I don't think wants to stick her with the debt he willingly chose to take out for his company, all of that stuff. Sure. However, at the point you potentially get divorced, who knows what goes down between now and then? You gotta be prepared for worst case scenario, because if you piss Kyle off enough, we've seen that man scream fuck you in your face, so he can get there.
It just takes the person you marry is not the person you divorce, okay? So like, you just have to be aware.
Yeah.
And I get she feels overwhelmed and stuck and she needs her space right now, but like, girl, you gotta think about these things. If you're gonna get it together, Katie Holmes him.
Well, especially because we all know that she is on her way out. Like, that girl is not what she's touting to Kyle, that we're in this separation for a month and I want to date you and get back together. You want out of this marriage, you should start looking at it seriously, whether you're going to say that on camera or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then we go to Union Square. Lindsay is on a date with Frank. Frank, the social climber. He's also a rosé guy. Something we didn't know about him already.
Wait, this was so funny when he was like, I'm not like that into cocktails. Like, what if I order rosé? And Lindsay was like, what?
He also doesn't use straws, which apparently is a thing for men.
It is, and I don't get it. I love drinking out of a straw.
No one thinks that you're sucking on a dick if you're drinking out of a straw, okay? No one thinks you're gay if you use a straw.
I think
Happy Pride, everyone.
Want to drink your drink as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
and most
chug
efficiently.
It. You want to chug it down.
Yeah. God forbid you want that in your system.
We only think you're gay if you deep throat a dick, okay? If you deep throat the straw, it's normal. Chug it down.
Easy math. Stop confusing the straw for being gay.
Straight men really just don't know what blowjobs are, I think. We're not sucking on a straw when we go down on you.
Well, maybe the ones who are so insecure about drinking out of straw have tiny ass dicks that look like a straw.
Ooh, Frank. Okay, so this is Lindsay's second date since her breakup. And she's just like, thank God Frank the hot milkman is here. So Frank, his first question to Lindsay is, did you work out today? And Lindsay's like,
what?
Lindsay's like, no, I carry around a baby all day.
Oh my God.
But Frank works out every day. And then Lindsay says she's just trying to have fun, okay? She doesn't want a fucking soulmate. She just wants fanny flutters. So Frank's the man.
I think Frank is a great option for her.
Yeah.
He wants to be on TV, so she gets the screen time and the storyline. He is good looking. The conversation, not that great, but we can work with it.
She doesn't need him to talk. She needs him to fuck her and then deliver milk for free.
True, because Gemma needs that whole milk.
Gemma's getting milk. Yeah, so Lindsay listens to how Frank conceptualized this milk idea. It's called Manhattan Milk, and it's basically hot men that deliver milk.
Okay, what do you think about this idea?
Okay, listen. Hilarious, right? I'm not gonna waste my money for a hot man to deliver me milk. I get it, but I don't know if there's much of a client base.
To me, it's like such a transactional thing that it's not like you're staying around. If you gave me a hot masseuse that was going to be in my apartment for an hour, that's different than you just throwing some milk at me and running away.
Sure, yeah, what if I'm also not home? Like, there's a lot of things that, like, could go wrong. I just don't know who the clientele is because I could walk 10 feet next door and get milk right now. Why would I pay extra for it to be delivered? I understand if you're like in the suburbs. My mom liked the occasional milk delivery, you know, because it was good milk. And then it was also, she didn't have to run to the store and just buy milk. It like showed up. I get that. But in New York, how many people drink milk anymore either?
But with that milk, because my dad did that sometimes too with different products that they had, is they would just drop it off in your like cooler and you had no
Yeah.
exchange with the actual person doesn't make a
Yeah.
difference. So that being the thing, I don't get it.
Manhattan milk.
I'm so
It's
curious if it still exists,
it
how much they're
is.
doing.
Yep. It is a delivery milk company. Yes, it is. It has a website and everything.
I'm giving
So
this an
it's
expiration date of a
okay.
year and a half max because it'll get a pickup from this promotional efforts
You
on
know
this
what?
show.
It's farm to table delivery created around the idea of bringing the nostalgia of a milkman back. The problem is no one these days grew up with a milkman, so I don't know
I
the
know.
nostalgia. But okay, I farm to table.
That's the biggest
That
edge
might
thus far I've heard. The hot person doesn't really matter.
Oh, they're looking. Oh, they also deliver like produce,
So it's just a grocery delivery service.
dairy, cheese, coffee, baked goods, condiments, meats, fish, snacks. Okay, it's just called
It's
milk.
the Air One of grocery delivery.
Sure thing. Sure thing. Yep. I'm glad we looked that up. Okay. Frank has a master's degree from the streets. I don't know if
hate
that's
this.
real. I don't know if he actually has a
Has a
degree or
master's
not.
degree? I'm gonna guess no.
Any degree, I don't really know. But he's also good in the sheets. And Lindsay's basically telling us, listen, the banter's not there, but Frank's hot, so it doesn't really matter, and she's not looking to talk to him. And you know what? It's a real man who loves rosé and sells milk. You can't be picky in New York City
Take it or
sometimes.
leave it. You know, you're getting exactly what he's selling, you're getting.
Yeah. And then Lindsay's like, or Frank's like, what do you do? And she's like, I'm a mom and I do business deals. And then Frank's like, you're kind of like the Samantha Jones. She's like, yeah, minus the sex life, which is so funny.
She's
Lindsay's
like, let's
funny.
change that though, milkman.
Also, wait, not to be confused with the milkman on Southern Hospitality.
Oh my
There's so many
God.
milkmen.
Wait, I think
Wow.
O'Sheen lives in New
Oh,
York though now, so we got two competing milkmen. Wait, hear me out. Brand deal.
Frank delivers the milk that O'Sheen then pours on his body and takes baths in.
I mean,
Genius.
like, if I'm honest, behind the scenes, you shouldn't waste that good milk and you should go buy it from the grocery store and then put it in your bottles.
Sure,
But
but brand
brand,
deal. A
we're
brand
here to
deal.
connect the Bravo Labs who have
There you
things in
go.
common.
Well, Frank's not a Bravo. And O'Sheen's been.
You're right.
Well,
Loose term, loose
the
term.
people who have appeared once on Bravo. We're here to connect
The
the
Z
social
Lab.
climbers.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
so
The fame suckers. Yeah. Okay, so now we go to West Village. Georgina is taking her kids on a walk with Yvonne. They met at Lindsay's bridal shower a few years ago. Georgina describes Yvonne as a lovable airhead. Doesn't know how she's made it this far.
Oh my God, that I feel like Yvonne has to be a little bit better than that. She's in PR and like doing a lot of shit.
Lindsay can't be friends with an airhead. I know this. She would like hate her. She would hate an
Yeah.
airhead. But I do think Yvonne is like I think she speaks without thinking. And I think some of her thoughts probably should be indoor thoughts.
I think she's also probably more type B than Lindsay and
For
Georgina's
sure.
type A-ness.
For sure. And also she's one of those, and I sometimes get this, right? Like I don't have kids. I'm surrounded by people who are married and having kids. And then, when the baby is given to me, I'm like, what do I do with it? You know what I mean? So like maybe
Yeah.
Yvonne's also just like, I'm not reading about things that I don't have to know about.
I'm not clocking into
Yeah.
motherhood just yet.
Yeah. And Yvonne says Georgina is chill and relaxed as a mom. And then we cut to her daughter eating the New York City ground, and her son is taking his pants off. Which,
I love Georgina as a mom.
same. I
I
really
love
like
her so much. She's so fucking real, and we need that.
Mhm.
I feel like, yes, reality TV is fake, and we know that. It's structured and set up and all this stuff. But, like, bring the real back into reality TV, please.
Yeah, like what is she gonna do? Yell at her kids for eating the ground and taking their pants off? That's a normal day in New York, okay?
And, like,
They're fine.
why is she gonna fight the kid to put pants on? Like, I don't care enough.
It's hot out. Let him run. No one cares, you know?
No one wants pants on. Come on.
So Yvonne wants to have kids with her, no offense, bum of a husband, Nick, so far from what I've seen. I'm gonna get canceled. Anyway, but she's like, hey, Georgina, what's the hardest part of being pregnant? And Georgina says, going up and down the subway stairs. Oh, and when your ex breaks up with you when you're pregnant.
Dude, so real, both of those.
Yeah. But Georgina's basically like, there's never a good time to have a kid. And Yvonne, she wants those babies. She comes from a big family. I think her dad is one of 7 and her mom is one of 8. She has 24 first
Yeah.
cousins. Couldn't be me.
That
But I'm
was
happy for her.
fascinating to learn about her. I see why the kid pressure is also like a little bit more or like different than I would have, because all these people are probably asking you if you're having a kid, and then also you're just so used to so many people being around. Like, it would be weird just to be you and your husband.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In real life, spoiler, she's pregnant.
She's currently pregnant, yeah.
Okay.
So
She got
yay
it.
for her. I also think Georgina's saying like there's never a good time. Like she's honestly one of the realest people about kids. That's making me be like, okay, yeah, like you're so right. I don't know if I want kids, but I prefer people be honest about it than glamorize it, because I'm like bullshit
100%.
when I see half the
Yeah.
stuff parents say.
100%. Okay, so Georgina is managing alone just fine. So she's like, Yvonne, you and Nick will be great. The hardest
That's
part's
so
being
true.
pregnant. Yeah, once you get the
Well,
baby.
she said being pregnant with a toddler. So if they just have
With
one,
another.
they're golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go to NoHo, to Kenny's apartment. And at first I was like, oh my God, I used to work literally right here. I know exactly where his apartment is. And then I was like, but sometimes they do cut weird. But then if you look out of Kenny's building, I know exactly where he lives. I saw that street. I know exactly where he is. I know
Really?
exactly where that moving truck was. Kenny,
Interesting.
you cannot hide from me. I will make your life miserable.
It's really interesting because sometimes they will use different apartment building, like for the outside, to like not show the public where people live. But with New York, because it's so populated, and I think because of like dormant culture and stuff like that, it's kind of harder to get away or like show a different building. So it's funny that you're like, no, I know exactly where this is.
Yeah,
Like
because at first I was like, wait a second. But the moving truck really kind of gave it away because you could see the background.
that you have
And you
to
could
see
see,
that.
I was like, oh yeah, I kind of got it. So, Kenny, I'm going to post your address. No, I'm just kidding. I don't hate you that much, but piss me off and
I'm
we'll
sure
see.
it would be pretty easy for people to find on their own.
Okay, so Whitney's stuff is here from LA. I think she said she's
Yeah.
coming from. So she wants to make Kenny's apartment our space. But this is Kenny's dream apartment, okay? He came from nothing. He was raised in a shack, sharing one bed with his mom and half brother. And so he worked really hard for this apartment, and he has crystals here for energy.
I really
like-
respect his upbringing into success, into like, I love my space, but the problem with that is you have to be willing to let things go in order to welcome someone into your life. And I am worried about this couple in particular moving into his space. I think it can
Yes.
be done. I think it will always be tricky, but the person whose original space it was has to be over inviting in order for it to like meld your lives together. And I'm not
And
really seeing that happening.
I wouldn't describe Kenny that way.
No,
Weirdly enough.
no. I would call him very rigid, and he likes the way he likes things, and that's okay if you don't want anybody else in your life.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Kenny's being a total asshole about all this stuff, okay? Total
Okay,
asshole. I can't
I
even...
will give him that when that truck pulled up and they were like, the entire thing is full of her stuff, I was like, holy shit, this is a lot of stuff for New York.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel... He was the one that said, move out
True.
to me.
True.
She's not gonna bring all her shit. She doesn't have any friends. She doesn't have any family. She's gonna bring her shit, okay?
I know. What they needed to do was go to LA, thin out her life for New York, and then pack it up and move it, but it doesn't seem
She
like
doesn't
that
know.
is what happened.
And he said, I want this to be our space. So she says she's gonna bring all her shit, and then they're both gonna get rid of half or something. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
Fuck off. I'll never find redeeming qualities for
The
Kim.
clothes are what scare me the most for her never re-wearing outfits.
She's not an outfit repeater. It's not a problem to repeat an outfit, everyone.
No.
It's fine.
Penny like counts her black shirts and she has like 20 of them. I'm like, you can't get rid of 3.
That's crazy. I only have
I have one black short sleeve
I've
shirt, like cute one.
I think I have at least 5, but it wasn't 20. It's not 26. Tell you
No.
that much. Okay, so Kenny says Whitney needs minions to help her. You know, like Lindsay's minions, her friends.
Yeah, if only she had become better friends with Lindsay, and Lindsay
Yeah.
could have loaned out her minions.
Well, Whitney said, I don't have any friends. And then Whitney gets really upset because Kenny's being really mean. She's like, I gave up a lot to be here and you're being mean about it. She was nice. He's being a total fucking dick, dude.
I think this is just a sensitive moment in general
It is.
of like your stuff showing up. I understanding him ribbing her a little bit, but he doesn't know when things shift to be like, okay,
Yeah.
let the joke die. Like, I need to be a supportive partner for her.
Well, he's immediately, all her stuff shows up. The whole time he's giving her a hard time, right? Fine,
Yeah.
whatever. But then when they start unpacking, he's like, oh, I'm making fun of you for this. I'm making fun of you for that. It just never stops. And again, she's alone. She's in a vulnerable moment. She doesn't have any friends. That's a very vulnerable thing to say.
And you cannot really turn back now. Like, everything
Yeah.
is here. The only thing to do is unpack it all and just figure it out. And you would hope you would figure it out together. But like we said, like, Kenny's not that person. So this isn't
she
looking
says
great.
she's leaving her life behind and he's not being supportive, which he apologizes, but sure.
I'm happy he did that. Like, you owed her that.
I'm
Bare
sure
minimum.
he'll at some point be unsupportive in the near future. Let's think next episode. I don't know. Okay, so then we go to Soho to Jack's wife Frida. I also know where this is.
Nice.
I know where this is. Then we have Danielle and Lindsay meeting. So Danielle had texted Lindsay to meet up, and she gave her a very nice text, I'll say. I wrote it down. There's not much, but I think Danielle was really nice, and I'd like to say the last part where she says, I understand why you were so cold to me and would like the opportunity to apologize. I hope you know that I would never want to portray a single mom/friend of mine like that, especially given that you know my family history and what my mom went through. Hopefully we can find a way to clear the air. Like, I think she's like, I'm taking ownership. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I would never mean
really
that.
do
Yeah.
not want to be doing that. Yeah.
So Lindsay's like, great, let's meet up. Everyone in the friend group wants them to have a conversation. Okay. Danielle's hearing it
Huge.
from everyone.
Yeah. Let's sit down. We're going to do it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready.
So Lindsay always says yes to a meetup. She tells production, except the first time Danielle asked.
She didn't really say no. She was like, let me check my calendar and put
think.
this off as long as possible.
But Lindsay says significant moments have been shattered by Danielle. So Lindsay wants to explain why she's not really giving a fuck about her.
Yeah.
So they sit down and Danielle says she's not sure what's going on, but she knows Lindsay felt judged for being a single mom. And Lindsay's like, wrong. You already have your story wrong. And Lindsay explains that every summer there are things Danielle does that Lindsay doesn't understand. Like when Danielle said Lindsay threw a gender reveal just to rub it in Carl's face. Or when Danielle said that her and Carl were moving too fast and then her and Turner were moving too slow. And oh yeah, let's not forget that right after Lindsay and Carl broke up the first time, Danielle gave Carl an Uber hand job.
I mean, the receipts on this were endless. This is what I love about these spin-off shows. Like, run through everything, please.
Yeah, run the tapes. Danielle denies the hand job in the Uber, but we did discuss it in 2019, and no one denied it then. So.
Sorry, babe. Like, that's not the one you can really go back on. It's been out there for a while.
Yeah, nothing else she denies, but she's like, I don't think I did that. So Danielle says she knows she's done things wrong, but she's been Lindsay's biggest hype woman at times, and Lindsay agrees. And Danielle takes ownership for it coming across negative because that's on her and that's not what's in her heart. And Lindsay said they've had this conversation before where Danielle means the best, but her delivery is off. However, Danielle says in the interview she's usually right about the things that she makes comments about.
Danielle, like, this is where, if you're going to be sassy and mean, you need to own it and really say it with your chest, but you're unwilling to say these things and then have, you know, whoever you said it about be upset later on. Yeah. She acts like surprised when Lindsay was upset. Like, come on, you can't do this now.
But Danielle apologizes Lindsay appreciates the apology. And she likes that Danielle didn't get offensive. But right now, Lindsay's number one priority is Gemma. Danielle would love to see Gemma more and have Lindsay meet her boyfriend Owen, spelled Eon. And Lindsay is very open to that, and they're gonna take baby steps. And I hate it. I have such a soft spot for Danielle. I don't
I
want
know.
it, but I have it.
I also think similar to Lindsay and Carl, like coming around full circle, I think Danielle is someone Lindsay can always have some type of friendship with, but I think the damage is there that Lindsay would never be like, Danielle is my best friend again.
I agree, but it's hard too when you've been trauma bonded on a show together.
Yeah. But and like being on a show unites you together and you know how to do this and you're the veterans. Like, I think it's easy for Danielle and Lindsay to maintain some type of relationship. And I think Lindsay is good at moving on in a general sense. I know she kept this like list. She'll look back and be like, look at all the data points on why, if you do something in the future, like why you've done this to me multiple times. But she can move on and be cordial and have scenes 100%. And have fun with someone no matter what they've done to her.
And you know what? It has to be nice for Lindsay to have someone who's not a rookie to the TV world know how to fucking film. I'm sure she's dying half the time.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then we go to Union Square. We're having a group brunch, which Lindsay invites Danielle to.
Which I was like, wait a minute, I thought we were having brunch in the I'm sorry section, and now we're going to a second brunch. All right. Like, this group loves to brunch and then brunch again.
Also, these two took the subway together. What are we chatting about?
Their exit out of the subway with like the light pouring into the camera. I was like, this is beautiful. I love this.
Yeah. But also, what do you talk about? You guys just became friends and now you have to ride the subway together? I mean, it's not far. It's only maybe like a 10-15 minute subway ride, but that's a good amount of time.
Was it filmed? Is my first question. And the biggest thing I would think that Lindsay would ask about is Owen Eon, because she knows nothing about him.
Owen spelled Eon? Yeah. Yeah. I love the idea that producers were like, we'll just take a car and meet you there, but come out of this exit. Because there's 1,000 exits out of every subway, and I never know which one I'm going to walk out of. And they had to walk out of that one. That's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to brunch. Everyone's here. Everyone's so shocked when Lindsay and Danielle show up together.
I was shocked by that. You guys all wanted them to sit down. They finally sat down. And you're like, Kyle especially, gobsmacked. I was like, you literally told Danielle that Lindsay called her a slut, and so they need to sit down.
Let's make it weird. Let's make it like Sierra and Wes, where we have to like harp on this, even though we wanted this.
Yes. Like, guys, they're smiling. They came together. Let's keep the good vibes rolling into our second brunch.
So Yvonne says, when it comes to her relationship with Lindsay, Danielle has 9 lives. And I agree. Yep. Some people do.
Really great analogy right there.
Some people do. But Lindsay and Danielle tell everyone they had coffee, had a good chat. They're going to see where this goes. There were apologies and understanding. And Kyle's like, if... I hate when he does this. But he looks at Danielle and goes, if Lindsay got an apology, then maybe you can apologize to Amanda. And Kenny's the one that goes, why does Amanda need one? No. And for once, I was like,
right. I was so confused. I was like, did I forget what happened last episode? Like, the fuck did Danielle and Amanda get into it? Or like, where's the beef there? I know they generally hate each other. But
I was like, okay, first of all, Kyle, what are you doing?
Kyle, shut up.
I think he's trying to be like, prove to Amanda I can be a husband. You know what I mean? So he's like, now I have to be extra nice. But he's like, hey, why don't you apologize to her? And I was like, this is beyond, even if Danielle literally walked up and punched Amanda in the face, she can't apologize because there's so much history. Like, we have to discuss.
But why are we piggybacking on Lindsay's situation when they're not in the same thing? If Lindsay, Danielle, and Amanda all got into a fight at that same night together, okay, fine. You could like do a dual apology in that sense.
Sure.
But like Danielle and Amanda's beef doesn't really have anything to do with Lindsay.
They also just don't like each other.
Yeah.
Kyle says, because Danielle was incredibly dismissive and condescending. And Danielle's like,
when?
Because Amanda attacks me. And Lindsay's kind of the one that's like, okay, they have their own things to talk about. Basically, there's a lot of history between Danielle and Amanda, if you're new here. back in the summer house, Danielle was asked a question once in like Truth or Dare or some drinking game they were doing. Who does she trust least in the summer house? And she picked Amanda, right? They've never gotten along because Amanda and Lindsay, believe it or not, have never gotten along. And Danielle and Lindsay were all a pair, and Amanda was left out, especially that first and second season when Amanda really didn't have a girl group. They just have never gotten along.
And that's okay. You don't need an apology for not being besties. And when you have to pick someone in a Truth or Dare game, you're going to pick someone you're not friends with.
Even Danielle is like, there's no beef. We've just have always had issues, and like she loves to bash me, so I just don't like her. Which, fair. And then we cut to the moment I think Kyle's talking about where Danielle was dismissive and condescending, I think he called it, where Danielle was talking about the Lindsay situation and about how like she knows they need to talk, but she doesn't want to right now. And Amanda gives Danielle, you know, a little lesson on how to apologize. And isn't that fun?
I was like, also, why are you the one talking to her about this, though?
They just don't even like each other.
And then wasn't Amanda's like added beef that then Danielle was like, or Amanda was talking, Danielle interrupted, Amanda was like, I'm talking. So Danielle lets her finish. And when Amanda finishes, Danielle just turns around and moves on with the party. Like,
no, literally.
What do you want from her?
Girl, what are you doing giving lessons on how to apologize? We sat through 3 hours of a reunion where you didn't even know why you were here or why someone would want an apology for you. In regards, remember? Come on.
I mean,
so
it's just this. If I was Danielle, I would dig in deeper and I would start a fucking fight now.
Same. I'd be like, let me give you a reason why I should apologize to her.
Yeah.
Let me give her something to really cry about.
We weren't fighting before. We're fighting now, bitch.
Now I'll go in. But Kenny, I hate that I was like, why is it Kenny coming to Danielle's defense? Because I agree with him and I hate that. Kenny chimes in defense of Danielle and says, like, it's a lot if you have an issue with Lindsay. He starts to be like, it's a lot if you have an issue with Lindsay because then, like, you have an issue with 5 girls, which I think is kind of a good point in this sense because Amanda was yelling at Danielle about Lindsay.
So yes, I see but also, like, he's making that Lindsay's fault, and
that's the problem.
That's not fair.
It should have been directed towards Amanda being like, Amanda's being a mouthpiece that Lindsay doesn't need.
Yeah.
But he does direct it towards Lindsay. And then, which I was like, hi, Kenny. Welcome to the fucking group. Amanda and Danielle actually have separate beef. I don't know what you're doing here. It actually honestly has nothing to do about Lindsay. These two, they'll fight over anything.
And thank God Amanda's like, you don't know our history because me and Lindsay, not besties, babe.
That hilarious. And then also Lindsay goes, fucking Kenny. Like she is already done. And then Kenny's like, Lindsay has her girls. And then Nick across the table yells, do you mean her minions? Because Nick was at boys' night when Kenny described Lindsay's friends as her minions, which includes Nick's wife, Yvonne, right?
Which, like, let's circle back. Let's make sure everybody knows that you're saying Lindsay has minions.
Yeah. Nick says all the girls have their own opinions and thoughts. And Yvonne, she doesn't even know what minions are. So then we cut to the Minions movie in 2015 so she can see.
Dying.
So Kenny says when Lindsay has beefs, she recruits girls. And Lindsay's like, I'm not recruiting. Sorry, I have friends and you don't.
That's not what Lindsay does. Lindsay never once in her life has had to recruit someone to be on her side. She will fully fight that on her own and has many, many, many times. Do people come to her defense? Yeah. Danielle rode hard for her. Like, Amanda rode hard for Lindsay in that conversation with Danielle. Of course, like, people are going to defend their friends when they are or are not around. But that doesn't mean Lindsay is puppeteering all of these people.
I really think Kenny just doesn't like that Lindsay
has
friends. And his girlfriend doesn't.
Because to me, Minions is like in Gossip Girl when Blair hated, I think it was like someone Dean was getting to know, and they nared that girl's hair. It was
Mhm.
Laura Lee from Vanderpump Rules. Like,
Shout out.
that's a minion. Is
Performance
when
of a
you are doing
lifetime.
someone's like dirty, dirty work to make someone's life hell, not sticking up or defending your friend in the point they have.
But also, minions are people that the puppeteer doesn't even really want or like,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
All those girls that Blair and Gossip Girl had, disposable. Like, she didn't
Yeah.
need them. Lindsay has friends. And Amanda's sitting here going like, I'm not Lindsay's girl, sir. Like,
Like,
pause.
correct the record.
And Lindsay's like, Yvonne and Georgina are two of my best friends. And Kenny calls it a mean girl crew, which different than minions. Let's get our, what are we calling it?
That's wild to say in reference to Georgina and Yvonne, because Yvonne has, okay, fine, had one interaction with you, Kenny, whenever you guys were at the Garrett and Lindsay was asking her questions and she was like, Yvonne, like, come over, you have to hear this. But why is that Yvonne's fault that Lindsay wants to, like, gossip about you? And then Georgina has done absolutely nothing, so I don't get how we become mean girl about this yet.
I literally think it's just because they haven't like shown up to Whitney and been like, please hang out with us. We would be lucky to have you in the group. Oh my God, Whitney, we're obsessed with you. But Kenny
So-
doesn't know how to like vouch for his girl to be like,
Well,
hey, why don't you reach out to these
He
people?
wants his girl to be the queen bee. It's
100%.
like, oh, you want your girl to have the minions, and that'll make you happy. Lindsay can't have them. She's the evil witch over there.
Even the way he talks about it in the interview with Whitney, when he's like, there will eventually be a new rain once this rain falls. And I was like,
Weird.
are we in second grade? There doesn't need to be a king
This
of
isn't
the
high school, babe.
classroom. What's happening?
What's with the class system in this friend group? Come
What's
on. We don't
happening?
need people like higher, lower. There's no queen bees. There are people who are friends. And yeah, does Lindsay have more power in this group? Probably. She has more sway. She's been on TV a lot longer.
She's known these people for a long time. They are not going to ditch Lindsay of 10 plus year friendship because your girlfriend moved to town.
Like, oh, thank God her box has arrived. That doesn't mean anything to us.
Hello? So Lindsay's basically like, Kenny, they're their own people. Pay attention. And Kenny asked Lindsay if she's on glue, to which Lindsay responds, yeah, I'm on glue. Which
Oh my God. Lindsay
then
got so activated and I loved it. I haven't seen her stand up from a table and yell at someone in so long
Hell
and
yeah.
I missed it.
And I love that it's Kenny because she says she's activated because Kenny's dumb. And
He
me
is.
too, honestly. Me fucking too. He is dumb. And then someone asks if Whitney's a minion, and Lindsay says she's Kenny's minion because he won't give her a fucking closet.
I mean, yeah. Talk about hierarchy here, Kenny. You've got a minion of your own because she's not on equal playing field with you.
There you go. So Whitney does say in the interview that she's intimidated by these people because they have so much history.
Which that's
Or no,
valid
she
and
says
that's a
this
fair
at the-
feeling.
She says this at the brunch. She's like, because someone's like, how do you feel, Whitney? I
And
don't know
that's
why we're asking
tough.
that.
But like
Yeah.
that's reality when we're adults.
Yeah,
There are
these
friendships
people
at
have
different time, but that doesn't mean you can't
be
become close to
friends.
these.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that were the case, valid reason to dislike these girls. If they were, closing ranks and like not talking to anybody, but clearly like they like you enough to invite you to this brunch.
Yeah. And girl, I hate to say it, but if you move somewhere, I know it's already like a very trying time, but you have to be the one to reach out.
Yes.
Like,
And also, your boyfriend is inhibiting some of your friendships now because if your boyfriend is yelling at girls in the group and mad that like they're not friends with you, what's going to make them want to be friends with you in that
be
situation?
friends. Yeah. But then Whitney starts to cry because she's trying to integrate herself and she wants to feel welcome. Which, Whitney, I think we also need to grow up because people aren't going to be like, oh, Whitney's here. Thank God. Now our lives can begin. Like, you just have to get integrated into the group.
Yeah, and also the
just have to
LA
buy your
and New York
time.
vibes are vastly different. LA is so nice but fake, whereas New York, like they're not gonna, oh my God, to you, but like I bet
Yeah.
they're gonna fucking invite you to brunch next Sunday.
Yeah, you'll be invited to brunch. We'll hang out with you. But if you don't talk to us, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that your hair looks nice and your dress
Yeah.
is so pretty and I'm so lucky that you're breathing the same air as me. I don't give a fuck.
I got
You could sit with
places
me
to
at
be,
brunch.
people to see.
You want to be my friend that bad? You tell me my hair looks pretty.
And, like, you gotta go hang out with Georgina and her kids in a park if you want to catch her. Like, you gotta do things you don't want to do.
You have to be the one to make the move. But yeah, Whitney says she just isn't used to this cattiness. She doesn't know if she'll fit in.
Shut the fuck up. You were on The Bachelor.
Also, your boyfriend's the one being catty.
So true. So true.
So then we chant minion or opinions, not minions.
I died. I will say, I did clock that the person comforting Whitney was Georgina. So is she a minion and a mean girl now, Kenny?
I should have punched Kenny in the face. I hate Kenny. Anyway, so we
He's
go to
giving us
know
the conflict we need, so I need you to accept him as the show villain.
I can accept him. I just want to hate him forever.
I'm just saying. I think people online, though, are like, get people like this off the show. I'm like, he's not dark like the people on the Valley.
No.
He can
I
say.
want to be
Thus
clear
far.
because this is now episode 3 where you've said that to me. Whenever I say I hate Kenny, it's not that I want him off the show. I want
Okay.
that clear, and you get
Valid.
in your mind, and everyone listening get in their mind. But I can hate him. He's my show villain. Okay.
Perfect.
Let me have hate towards him.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Let me live. Okay. I live hating people. I love it.
Perfect.
If Kenny leaves, I have to go find him at his apartment to hate him in person. That's just work.
And I don't want that.
So now we're in NoHo. We're in Washington Square Park with Georgina, Whitney, and Lexi. Whitney's talking about how she's all moved in. Lexi went over to her apartment. They measured for a closet, and Kenny was not supportive. Are we surprised? Oh my God.
I thought this was genius. Let's utilize the space even more so she doesn't have to take up more space. I was like, girly is proactive. That is what we need in this tiny apartment.
Let's bring in a professional.
Hell yeah.
Whitney seems to think her and Kenny are on the same page. But after what Lexi saw, she doesn't think so. And Lexi brings up that Andrea heard from Kyle that Kenny is unsure if there's a spark between him and Whitney. She says it. She's like, girl, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this. Which, Lexi, I'm still unsure about you as like a TV person, you know?
Yeah.
Because even this was a little like, whoa, she really dropped that shit. But I liked it. But it was
shocked
rough.
It came from them too, but
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you're willing to get messy. I need to know that because they just seemed like perfect little Ken and Barbie dolls. So I'm like, get in the mix. Here we go. You're passing the drama along. Thank you so much.
Let me tell you, if Whitney's your friend, this was brutal, dude.
She was like, hey, by the way, there's no spark between you and your boyfriend, and he's a dick. But like, she didn't even say it in a fun way,
No.
like a fun TV way.
I know. It was like really a harsh truth. And Georgina's like, damn. She wishes she was picking up her kid's shit at this point.
Yeah.
Whitney doesn't even know what to say to that because it's hard for her to believe. Because why would he move her out here if there wasn't a spot? Which, yes.
Valid.
Logically, of course.
To immediately be like, I don't think that this is true. The only reason I believe it is because we did see it.
Because I saw it and Kenny's a fucking dick, dude. Yeah,
but like, I don't think, it, like, if... I can't believe he's dumb enough to say that he doesn't have a spark.
On TV,
like,
where she's gonna see it. Yeah.
I can't wait to see what his, like, what he says in response to this, because, like, who does this? I don't think, like, genuinely people would, like, talk about this.
I can already tell you what's happening without having seen the next episode. He's gonna blame Lexi for doing this. He's not even gonna deny that he said it. He's gonna blame Lexi and Andrea for repeating it.
Probably mainly just Lexi, because, like, let's be honest, he
hates
will always
women.
go after the woman. Yeah.
He hates women. It's also very triggering for Whitney because her last relationship was a few years and then it ended because she just, quote, wasn't it. Which, damn.
That's so sad.
Damn, girl, that is sad.
I mean, more pressure on this relationship, though, because you just moved your 8,000 boxes all the way from LA, babe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Lexi's like, hey, that's not all. And she says that Kenny used the word murky to describe their relationship future.
Well, that's worse than no spark, because at least spark, I think you could talk your way out of, like, oh, I was saying, like, we're out of the honeymoon phase. Murky. Sure. Who uses that word?
Murky. And Georgina's basically like, hey, Whitney, you just have to talk to Kenny about it. And Kenny's like, I don't want to be that stupid girl that's missing something, because she moved her life out here for him. But she said if she thinks this is true, she'll move right back out. Here's the thing, right? If we were Georgina, right? We're sitting there. Georgina's not there. And Lexi said this. And Whitney's like, I can't even believe this. When we said it makes sense because why would you? Kenny is such a dick, dude. Of course he would say this, and I hope to God that Whitney watches this. But spoiler, I think they're still together, and oh my God, am I
think
gonna
they
like?
are.
Oh, I hate
I'm
it.
just
This is
so
one of
curious
those.
what he's gonna say.
This is gonna be one of those relationships where if things go bad, I can't feel bad because you chose to say you saw it. And
But
you
I will
chose
say
this.
at this point, there are worse things that we have seen on reality TV and relationships that like, but this is the beginning. Like this is already precarious. But what I'm saying is like, it's the next stuff where he like actually attacks you. Saying like you don't have a spark is not the worst thing in the world I've seen on TV. So I'm like, but this is a slippery slope of that man better get it together, especially on camera.
Just because it's not the worst thing we've seen on reality TV doesn't mean it's not bad.
But to me, like, if my boyfriend said, like, we don't have, I think the murky is worse than
Murky.
the we don't have a spark.
Oh, interesting. I think we don't have a spark would hurt me more because we should have a spark. It's been 6 months. I just moved here. We're
Yeah.
in Spark Central. What are you talking about?
They're at a
Right?
stressful point, though, so I get if it's not, like, the best time in their relationship as she's, like, moving all of her stuff in.
But it's exciting. It's like right before the wedding, the day of.
This
He's
is
like,
Kenny's
there's no
worst
spark.
experience. He seems so type A, so anal. This is terrible for him. This is his worst nightmare, is someone
hate
taking
him.
over his Ken Dojo Mojo Casa house.
I hate him. Oh my God. Okay. So now we go to Midtown. We have Kyle and Amanda in matching sweatshirts, which seems like it would still be hot out. Is Amanda okay?
She loves to dress inappropriately for the weather.
For the weather, yeah. So they're doing a collab with Boys Lie. And now they're here to do a podcast to promote the clothing drop that they're gonna do. And Amanda is an expert at smiling through things when her relationship is in shambles. So this is gonna be easy for her.
That is not a great skill.
Not a flex.
Talk about zoned out.
So Amanda tells Kyle how she found an apartment to move into. However, I know we said it was going to be month to month, but this is a year-long lease.
That's crazy.
To drop right before we go do a job? She loves ruining his life.
You're so right about that. I didn't even think about the timing of this. I was just like, you are such a dumb bitch for being like, no worries, we're still going to work on a marriage. I'm just going to live somewhere else for an entire year.
Well,
What?
also, fuck her because Kyle's like, hang on, that's a totally different conversation than the one we've had. And she goes, I already made the decision. I'm not asking.
Alicia,
We're not in a
when she
marriage.
said that she already made the decision. I immediately flashed back to that freedom dinner on Summer House when Kyle hadn't even signed with new management or anything for his Las Vegas thing, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Amanda was like, we don't have a partnership. He doesn't talk to me about this. He talked to her about it, hadn't even signed it, got roasted alive. And you're going to turn around a month later and sign a year apartment lease. That is a way bigger decision in a marriage than him going to do a job in Las Vegas.
100%. Because they had discussed a few months and she won't even discuss this with it. That was crazy.
And she just like drops it so casually, like, yeah, no, sorry, I signed that. What? Nobody's asking if you're going on vacation to Italy for a week. This is a year of your life.
But let's go do a podcast now for your brand. She single-handedly wanted that brand to be bankrupt.
Oh my God. I don't get how she thought that we would think she was in on this marriage still. Like, even if she hadn't slept with Wes and like all that had gone down, I can't imagine looking at this stuff and being like, no, you tried to the end. Like, bummer on your divorce. Like you really got the wool pulled over your eyes and you suffered. Because the thing is, it's all about the last impression. And this last impression is weird.
I say it every episode. She's doing it for the attention she thinks she's going to get. How the Bravo girls are going to be on her side.
Yeah, but I think a year
strong...
lease I don't think that would have been well received.
But she just doesn't, well, she doesn't know how to be received. We've seen her track record now. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't exactly know how to play
No.
herself. You know what I mean? But I really do think in her mind, she's like, oh, the girls are going to eat this up. Gonna love it. You know,
Like, I got
her
freedom.
idol, Paige DeSorbo, she wouldn't even move to Craig's state. You know, she wouldn't move in with him, and all the girls supported Paige. So I'm gonna move out from Kyle for a year. The girls are gonna love it. I really think that's how she's processing all of this. She's like missing the mark for sure.
It's weird because, like, when she was sitting down with Sierra and West, she knew that that was going to be her building, and she said nothing about a year's lease. She was like, no, we're going to try to be together.
Well, she still
What?
says she's like this because Kyle's like, I'm starting to think this separation's more permanent. And she goes, it's not a separation. And he's like, okay, the creating separate space.
Like, she is so on him, like,
We
being
aren't
so prim
separating.
and proper about this stuff, or like him not getting an opinion on if she can go live in a separate apartment. It's like you critique him so hard on his side of the fence of this separation, not separation, but you can do whatever you want and constantly change it up and do whatever you want. And like he just has to accept it. He gets no voice in it. I am like flabbergasted by the end of this.
Yeah, if she says this is gonna help the relationship one more fucking time.
No. Or
Girl.
that they're going to date each other one more time. I'm like, come on, just stop. You can lie to Kyle, fine. Stop lying to me.
You don't even believe it anymore. Yeah,
No,
like hello.
No. This is my thing is, you were right in Summer House when we were watching it, that she was Katie Holmesing him. But she's not anymore. Like, she's not doing a good job. Katie Holmes had her shit buttoned up.
Yeah.
Amanda is...
She's letting it leak.
I don't even know. We're going to have to come up with a
letting it
new name
leak.
because this is sloppy as hell.
So Kyle's trying to be supportive and optimistic, but this is weird. They don't want to get to a point where they hate each other, but this is crazy. But they're going to keep all their private matters private, and they're going to go on this podcast and talk about what keeps a spark in your relationship, to which Kyle says, if you don't have a spark in your own relationship, you start looking somewhere else. And Amanda's like, but it's true. Amanda's going to look at a new apartment for her spark. You know what I mean?
Well, she's going to be in somebody else's apartment, turning her
Mm-hmm.
location off, trying to look for a spark here soon. Also, that lined up perfectly with the spark conversation happening in the park. And I just want to say I did love it weaving
Loved
together
it.
in the show. It like
Loved it.
They did not happen on the same day. There's absolutely no way, but great job on editing.
It worked out
whoever
great.
Those
Now we go
producers
to
are.
NoHo for drinks with Whitney and Kenny because it's Kenny's birthday. And Whitney tells Kenny she had a talk with Georgina and Lexi today. And Lexi told her that Kyle said that Kenny is unsure about a spark.
Dun,
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 dun.
dun. I can't wait
I'm
to watch
excited.
him lie his way out of this.
Me too. And
Okay.
on his birthday, like that's one pro for you
Yeah.
next week. We're going to
Hell
ruin his
yeah.
birthday.
Hell yeah. This man should never have a happy birthday again. So next time, we are going to get to watch Nick go to town on a burger while Yvonne talks about wanting to procreate with him. That'll
He's
be
going
fun.
to choke and die.
Yeah, we get to listen to Danielle cry about rumors about being a home wrecker. We get to watch Amanda and Kyle pretend they're in love and not be in love. And we get to watch Kenny be mad at everyone for running their mouths about his relationship, even though he said these things. I, for one, am looking forward mostly to watch Nick shove a burger down his gullet. Well, Yvonne's like, have unprotected
Babies?
sex with me so we can get a baby. I can't wait
Please?
for that one. Yeah. Okay, it's time for my favorite bit. Meredith, we got in the city and out to the suburbs. We're banishing someone and we're keeping someone. It is an odd number, so it is your turn to go first. Who are you doing with what?
Let's go out to the suburbs with Miss Amanda Batula in her 1-year lease. Gone for a year, baby. Get out of this city, please. That was diabolical to not only make that decision on your own and then drop it on Kyle 5 minutes before a podcast episode where you say, let's keep our private life private.
Yeah.
Wild. Also, thinking that Danielle is going to give you an apology at that brunch, crazy work. Shut up and sit down.
You tell Kyle a ton of shit. Tell him to shut the fuck up at this brunch so we can enjoy ourselves. How about, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Kenny. Shocker.
Shocker.
Shocker. Oh, I hate this dude. There's no redeeming qualities. The minion conversation, yuck. The making fun of Whitney, yuck. I can't wait to ruin his birthday. I can't wait to watch him yell at more people, and everyone hopefully hates him as much as I do. And if it's not Kenny at this point, I'm gonna send Whitney out to the suburbs. These
No, I'm
two.
gonna be shocked if it's not Kenny one week.
Yeah, no, if you steal it 1 week first, I'm gonna have to think about it. But that might be the only way.
I'm gonna put in my early prediction for the end of the season totals. Kenny's gonna be out in the suburbs with Amanda because Amanda has her 1 year lease, so she is truly stuck there whether we vote her or not.
Well, if we had it our way, out of New York for these two. Okay, who are you keeping in the city?
I'm gonna give it to Danielle. I think she owned her shit. She got invited to brunch. I think she handled the Amanda stuff really well.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. And like I need Danielle's drama, and so like I'm loving it. Keep it in the city. It's what I want.
10 out of 10. That was a great one. She was one of my options, but
yeah. What about you?
Took her. I'm gonna go with Lindsay. I love when she's activated. I love it. I think this is exactly who I did the past 2 weeks. I apologize. I'll have to figure it out. But
the new cast has to step it up. Like we need them to get their own little drama, because if it truly is going to be Kenny versus Lindsay and Kyle versus Amanda this entire season, I will be a little frustrated.
No, so true. And I mean, we saw it at the brunch, right? The only people piping up were the old cast and Kenny.
Yeah.
Right? Whitney only piped up when she was crying about how she wanted to be welcomed or whatever. But like, yeah, we need the fights. And Lindsay, her activated is one of my top 10 favorite things. Yeah.
Agreed.
Anyway, well, I really do like this show, even though I make fun of it.
Wait, but like, I have been thinking the same thing. There's so many people who are sitting there being like, I'm not going to watch this because Amanda's on it. To be honest, I think you should watch it because Amanda looks like an idiot. And there was even a scene where, like, they were all texting about going to brunch, and they put Amanda on the couch texting, like, on my way, as she's, like, nowhere near ready. Like, they don't give a shit about Amanda. Like, they just want to drag her in this divorce.
But even besides that, I really do think, not that our episodes aren't fun, but we don't have a lot to talk about, in a sense, because, like, this show is very fun and light, and it's, like, different. And it's interesting because they do all have like very long standing friendships that we still have to learn. So we can't sit here and be like, oh my God, of course Kenny's calling them minions because of this and that. Like, we don't actually know. So we're learning
that
them
out slowly. Yeah.
But it's also still so light. It's funny. Like the way they're editing it is like cracking me up, honestly.
I agree. And I think I heard that a editor from the West Coast actually got moved to in the city for like to do this show, and I might be taking over another East Coast show. I forget. So
like Vanderpump or
no, I don't think it's from Vanderpump, because to be honest, that production company is in hot water with like bad shows that they're producing. Ooh. But yeah, somebody good was moved to the East Coast, like with this East Coast production company to manage this. So they like brought in the big guns.
I like it. Yeah, it's a great hour of your time, honestly. Like it's quite funny.
I agree.
And like the veterans are really bringing it. They
couldn't agree more.
They said, we're going to put you on our backs and we're going to do this. And yeah, it's working out. Like I even thought the next time on, I was cracking up watching Nick go to town on this fucking burger.
I can't wait for that.
And then Yvonne's like, hey, should we have a baby? And he like chokes on the burger. Like they're also in a warehouse. What is going on?
I cannot wait to figure that out, because like that's been on this season on. Like I've been wanting to know what the fuck that scene is for so long.
It's like, it's quite interesting. So yeah, I like this show. So even though we don't have a lot to like go back and forth on, it is funny. It's a fun show.
I agree.
And we're going to be here all season. And we're getting a freaking reunion. This is the best.
I heard it's going to be 2 parts.
Ooh, this is going to be a great show, dude.
Yeah.
Season 2, though, don't fuck it up. Don't
No.
fuck it up. It's fine.
That's
It's
the
fine.
thing.
It's fine.
I think season 2 is only going to get better and better and better.
You have these long-standing. It kind of gives Vanderpump Rules because they had known each other all for a very long time.
I know. It's giving what the Valley thought it would, but they have like
They're
toxic
dark.
relationships.
They're dark. The darkest thing happening here is Kenny didn't like Whitney's wooden balls.
Yeah.
And
like said, they don't have a spark and might have a murky
he said
future.
murky.
Okay.
You know what? The valley is dark. The city's not even murky yet. You know,
No.
in the city, not even murky. Clear
Not at
water's
all.
ahead. Okay. Well, do all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. And with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.